Greetings, Foundlings. This is Anansi, and this is Building Basics with Gurreck Clan. So today you may have noticed I'm not actually in the workshop, and that's because we're going to switch gears for a little bit, and I'm going to walk you through something that I know some of you may have difficulty with, that can be a bit daunting when you first get to it. So actually today I'm going to walk you through the Mandalorian Mercs forums. It's really important that you get to know the forums. I mean, it's a great repository of information. There's a lot of your questions can actually get answered by browsing through the forums. It's an important part of your membership, so that's another reason to get acquainted with it. And yeah, it's a lot, but don't worry. We're going to walk you through it right here and now. So a couple things I wanted to talk about. I'm going to show you what it looks like both on desktop and mobile. And I've got a handy little browser tool. I've chosen the Galaxy S9, but that really doesn't matter. Your mileage may vary. But we've got a cool view here, mobile and desktop, because I know some people only have their phone. So things may look slightly different, but not too much. Other things I wanted to point out, my profile will look a little bit different from what you might see. Because I'm a Rusalor, I have a couple extra areas. We won't go into those at this point, but I'm going to walk you through so you get to the ones that you need to. So just be aware there's a little differences here and there. So without further delay, let's get started. So once you've finally logged into your account, you're going to see first thing up is communications, but I'm going to direct you to the new members area. This is really the first place you should go. Of course, first things first, the rules and guidelines. Most people go over that. I think it's the terms and conditions, blah. But there's actually a couple of really helpful sections in here, a couple of good threads I'd recommend you go into. First off, comprehensive forum usage. The name speaks for itself. It kind of goes over how exactly to get around, answers a couple questions, such as, how the heck do I post photos in here? This will actually show you how to use Imager, and post, what links you need to use, how you put it into your own forum post, which becomes really important when you start working on things such as your work in progress thread. Also has a couple other bits, but that's one of the important areas you need to look at. Another section that you'll want to look at before you get started is the forum rules. That'll keep you on the right side of the admins as far as what we expect, what you can post, what you can't post. Pretty cut and dry. So let's back on up, and you notice there's a nice little breadcrumb here to help you back up if you need to. You don't have to use the back buttons, but going back up, the next place after you check out the rules and guides and the do's and don'ts, pop on in to introduce yourself. You can start up a brand new thread. Just say, hi, I'm such and such, and I'm from such and such. Hello from California, from Clusto. Hey, Clusto. So that's one of the areas you get you introduce yourself. People welcome you aboard, direct you to the right clan. We're going to back up here. Next, a couple other places. These will lead you back out to the main page, but you can find your clan. Gives you a nice little search tool to find the approximate clan that you should be in contact with. and a quick link back to the CRLs. Next section I want to show you, and this is going to be a great place to start your research. When you want to know what helmets go where, what weapons look like, before you begin building and you start getting an idea of what your Mandalorian looks like in your head, you need to go to the JAD Halls of Knowledge. This has all kinds of great information. Membership guides such as UM to OM, which is a really great, thorough walkthrough of the process you're going to go through as you become an official member. Goes through the application process, trooping. Oh my goodness, there's so much good info in here, written by our education team. They do such a great job. Another section you'll want to definitely look at is the image library. You could spend a lot of time on Google, or you can come here and find out what Star Wars grenades look like. Lots of different ways to build them. You can find out. There's so many references. I'm not going to go. You can spend an entire day in there, just going through. Next place, we do have translations. We've got a crack team of translators, very knowledgeable, that are trying to get these into as many languages as possible. Right now they're focusing on French, German, Spanish, and Portuguese. But, and they're building those. They're taking the time to make sure that everybody can use these forms properly. The other big good section that you really should take some time to look at when you're curious on how to build an edged weapon or how to install your visor, you want to come to the tutorial section. Again, in the JAD Halls of Knowledge. Maybe you're trying to convert a Nerf. This is going to give you some really great walkthroughs, pulling from the work in progress and the guides that a lot of our members have done. It's pulling from all of that knowledge to try to give you a condensed, detailed look at how to build those things yourself. So I definitely recommend. This is definitely some place you should bookmark, put it on your stop, your must-do place, because this is going to answer a lot of questions on that. The next section you really should take a look at when you're on the forums is going to be the Mandalorian armor section. This is probably the largest section, and this is pretty much where your build threads are going to be posted. So you have a lot to choose from. We have, your first stop is probably going to be Armor Concepts. That, without a doubt. That's going to be where you start pitching your ideas. This is what I'm thinking of doing. This is the kind of armor I'm looking at. This is the design. You don't have to be an artist. If you're just, it's a brainstorming section for you, where you can kind of, pitch your idea, and mercs from everywhere will be able to kind of give you feedback, let you know what has worked, what doesn't work, kind of give you, actually throw out some other ideas that you may haven't considered. If you're thinking about a color concept, somebody may go, hey, I tried that concept, didn't really work for me, or, that's great, it looks really good when you do this and this. It's an amazing forum section to go to. And it also has a couple little guidelines in here as well that can definitely help you out. But Armor Concept is where you pitch your idea. Then once you're out of there, we've got a couple of other sections. Some of them focused on specific parts of your armor. We have an entire section devoted to helmets. Your armor work in progress is probably going to go into the armor construction. And you can even drop that even deeper down into gauntlets. If you identify as female and you need some advice on how to shape plates, specifically for female body, we actually have a section devoted to that as well, including flight suits and soft parts. Weapons, there's so many sections here. Again, I know it's really exhausting. One thing I'm going to recommend is, take your time, maybe familiar yourself with one or two threads. You don't have to become an expert on where everything is, but are a few sections that are really going to be invaluable as you go through this process. As always, I'm always going to recommend that you talk to your Rusalor or your fellow clan mates, your fellow Stronghold mates on this stuff, because they've been through the same process. They can point you in the right direction as well. So, moving on, Mandalorian armor's huge section. You're going to spend a lot of time there. Next area I would look at, again, this will be recommended to you after you introduce yourself and find your clan. It's going to be the clan and stronghold region. This is where all the individual clans and strongholds keep information specific to their area. So, for instance, for example, let's hop into Western USA, where you have all the great clans here. I'm kind of partial to Gurreck clan for obvious reasons. But clans will keep their clan roster here. They'll keep other information, pertinent to your area, whether or not they're posting armor party threads, hey, who wants to come over a visit, sort of thing. You can even post your work in progress thread here if you're a little shy and don't want to post it to the entire club. You can post it right here in your own clan's thread. Let's say you've got your concept. You've taken the time to research in the Jad Halls of Knowledge. You've looked at other people's builds. You've got ideas. Maybe there are certain components, depending on space or tool limitations, or you're on lockdown and you don't have access to an armor party at the moment. Or there's just things you want to buy, like a helmet. Helmets are a great first item to buy. Where do you go? You go to Etsy, possibly. You go to eBay, not recommended, but you can. Or you can search online. There are a couple of good vendors online. But the place to go, the absolute best place to go to buy your equipment that you want to buy, is here in the trading station section. So the thread you're going to get really acquainted with, or the subsection you're going to get acquainted with, is Mandalorian Supplies. And you have two options when you get here. So let's talk about that real quick. You've got your one-time sales, and you can kind of consider that kind of your Craigslist. And you've got other club members that are maybe looking to move some items that they no longer need, no longer fit. Maybe just overstock of stuff that they just want to share with somebody in the clan before they sell it elsewhere. This is where we're going to go. These are one-time items. I've got an extra flight suit. Who wants it? It's up for sale. The other section that you're going to look at a lot is going to be continuous sales. And this is where our great builders in the club, people that are constantly putting out great products, this is where they have their marketplace. There are so many in here that, again, like I said, there's so much to look at. Take your time, browse. It is your own Mandalorian mini mall. Browse at your leisure. Take a look at the products. Take a look at all the great feedback that everybody gets. I mean, look at all this. There's some great stuff in here. You can't go wrong. These are definitely all approved for becoming an official member. So this should be your first stop when you're looking for new items for your kit. That would be the merchandise, or the continuous sales thread. Other areas in the trading station you may want to look at when a clan puts out like a great patch or a coin. You're going to find that here in the merchandise sales section. You can find club merchandise, the official clan items, such as t-shirts and other cool stuff. And there's general merchandise as well that's put out by individual clan members. Those are we could spend hours on this, but those sections that we just covered really quickly are going to be the ones you're going to spend the most time in. Don't get me wrong, there are other great sections you can look at. the general discussion area, the lounge. If you just want to talk Star Wars or pitch ideas, there's actually a pretty cool thread in here that I highly recommend. It's the So You Want to Learn Mandua thread. Obviously, Mandalorians have their own language, and sometimes we need help figuring out how we want to say that special something. This is the thread to go to. So, general discussion is the place to kind of, let loose a little bit. Not too much. Behave yourself. So, a couple other things that you'll want to know about the forums. Obviously, you can get notifications on when something is updated. Like if you post a reply to a thread and other people post their feedback, you will get a notification. If you want to see where all of those are, you come here to Updated Topics. And that's going to give you a list of all the new updates to the threads that you have replied to. So if you've made a post on any thread and that post gets a new update, you'll get it'll be listed here in the Updated Topics section. Another feature that a lot of forums come with is the ability to private message somebody. If you do private message somebody, you'll want to look up here. It's kind of out of the way, but you've got a little section here, 0 conversations. Right now, 0 are new, but you click on that, and you'll be able to see all of your private messages. I'm going to click on mine. Some of them are classified. But that's where all your private messages are stored. Just click there. Oh, I actually clicked there. Oh, no. Let's go back to the forums. So I am only giving you the 10,000 foot view of these, but I hope that this gives you a better understanding of the sections that you should put most of your focus. Again, the first place you should go is your new members area. Then I would hop down to the Mandalorian armor section, specifically armor concepts, and then you have a plethora of different sections to choose from if you want to just talk specifically about weapons or your soft parts, where other people have found flight suits and things like that. Or you just want to take a look at everybody else's pretty kits down here in the costume gallery. Again, Mandalorian armor is the section you want to go to. If you want to do a little bit of research first, figure out, kind of build a game plan, you want to go to the Jad Halls of Knowledge, located down here in the Royal War College of Mandalore. And that's where you're going to find all the reference images, so you don't have to spend all day on Google or Bing or DuckDuckGo, for that matter. Other sections, again, you're going to look at the clan and stronghold regions and the trading station. So, this has been a real quick view. I hope this helps. Again, if you have any other questions, ask your friendly neighborhood Rusalor. They'll be happy to help you. This has been Anansi with Building Basics with Gurreck Clan. See you out there on the hunt.